dignitaries on the dais, a set of knowledgeable guests from all around the country and the world. I may sound slightly old-fashioned actually. And to drive home the point as to why I'm a little old-fashioned, I'll just rattle out some statistics which I gathered on the way to this place. The total mobile connections in India is 904.51 million as per the March TRAI data, and it's about 912 now. Out of this 371.78 millions, this is in rural area. Now that effectively means that each of the rural households has got 4 to 5 mobile phones. We've got 8.93 farmer families, farmer households. Rural numbers are about 12 plus. So farm family is about 8.93. And even if a person in a family is doing a job of a blacksmith or a carpenter, there is definitely a farmer somewhere. So each family has got mobile phone, at least 2 or 3. Now look at the flip side. As per the TRAI data, ending 2013, there was 60 point something million broadband connections. And by broadband, I take the latest definitions of 512 kbps. There are 240 million internet connections. So what it means that people are either working on age-old 256 kbps or are working on edge or GPS technology. Let's come to the next one. The smartphones. I just Googled yesterday and I've asked to see among the countries which are worth being listed in terms of smartphone penetration. India is at rank number 48, and that is where the Wikipedia list ended, to my horror. 16.8% is the mobile phone penetration in the country. Now, smartphone penetration. It was 125 million odd smartphones till the end of 2013, despite highest ever shipments of smartphones. 50.1% of all the shipment was in smartphones. And 2014 projection of IDC is 80.57 million. So where do we go? We got about 20 crore smartphones in the country. And whatever studies and surveys that we are doing through a huge database of farmers, most of them still do not have smartphones, because smartphone has an additional cost of 75 rupee monthly pack, 100 rupee monthly pack and all. So the point I'm trying to make is that even if we have about 20 crore plus mobile phones, smartphones, most of these are still in urban areas. So how do we reach out to the farmer? The mantra is SMS still. It's not that we're not developing smartphone apps on Android. I read with interest Osama Mazhar's comment in the Mint story about smartphone apps that we are doing. But we know that, knowing it fully well, that smartphone apps adoption thereof will continue to be limited for about a couple of years. So we are working on both sides. On one hand, we are developing smartphone apps. At the same time, we are extracting the power of USSD, unstructured supplementary services of data, pull SMS, IVRS, voice broadcast, and text-to-speech. Now this is something, the last piece is still in the pipeline. We have text-to-speech engines by IIT Chennai, CDAC or something, but these are all specific to a browser, and these work online. So what we are coming up very shortly, hopefully, will be something which will be mobile resident, and even an age-old Nokia 1110 with 32 MB of basic memory should be able to support it locally without internet connection. So when we say that agriculture, a lot of interesting things were sent by my predecessor speaker. So what he did, when after a long stint of mine in, as Secretary IT and before the Special Secretary IT in Himachal Pradesh government, when I joined here and I was the JS IT, I found there's a form, normally in when you do tambola, what do you say for double it? Two fat ladies, right? I had three fat ladies. 800 websites, all inclusive, approximately, if you include the state governments, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, universities, Government of India, about 800 websites. There were 80 websites and portals in my department, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. There are 8 sectors which directly deal with 8 sectors oblique organizations at the national level which deal with farmers. Things like agriculture cooperation, animal husbandry, ICAR, IMD, and so on and so forth. But there was not even a single thing dedicated to the farmer. So what we tried is we should show during the agriculture sector and probably some other during the interactive session. We have a farmers portal dedicated to the farmers. It's not been formally launched because something which is farmers portal, we still have only in Hindi and English. A farmers portal ought to be in all regional languages. All those 12 regional languages in which we are sending messages to the farmers down to the grassroots level. So somebody mentioned about, the Mint editor mentioned about anniversary. Yes, it was an anniversary with a lot of dividend. In 1 year, we have sent 115 crore messages to the farmers. And these are not broadcast messages alone. These are about 20 services included. And these are the messages which go to the farmers as per their location, as per the preference of the crops that they indicate, and in the language that they want. Because some people can't read English, but then they can read that script in that language in Roman script. So, in fact, for the mobile manufacturers, an important point I had was, even for Android, imagine that Android supports some 78 languages now, and most Indian languages are supported there. But some manufacturers, I was aghast to see, they have in their firmware, they have added only Hindi at best, and some of those don't even support Hindi. It's a small tweaking which people need to do. So we have things like market prices. So in this farmers portal, a farmer can click on the India map, click on the state, click on the district, click on the block, all clickable. And then you get various options like market prices, weather, input availability, package of practices, integrated pest management practices, then beneficiary list, storage, insurance, credit. So the information for the farmer for his or her location is available. And this we are trying to push through SMS. So this is a very strong base. Today, when you talk about 115 crore messages, these are not being pushed by the ministry alone. There are about 3,000 users down to the block level across the country. And this includes ICAR, this includes KVKs, this includes universities, state governments down to the block level. And they're loving it because it's so simple. We're having easy phonetic typing. So any language they can type in, so long as they know the language. So typing is no longer a barrier. And then this one thing called USSD. I've been talking about it ever since I set up the first SWAN in the country in Himachal, that we must go for USSD. And I'm feeling so satisfied that USSD works and works very, very smoothly. We have any kind of query on the database of farmers portal. See, either the farmer has to have internet on the phone or in his house, which is still at a sub 5% level in the rural areas, in fact not even 5%. So what does he do? He either goes to the Common Service Center. So we've integrated everything with Common Service Center. Or he just sends a pull message in a structured format. Or he uses this USSD. Now, a farmer wants to know which is the best machine for me for spraying on a urad ki dal. So he just sends a message. He knows location and what are the crops that he grows. Suppose urad is one of the crops in the commodities list. Then he pushes that. Then he gets a message back. Which machine do you want? Then you get all the dealers along with the mobile numbers and the prices at which they are selling. So it's the farmer who's empowered to decide what he wants, and not the block agriculture officer or agriculture development officer, who often happen to be in excess, not all of them, in excess with the manufacturers. He decides the best product, negotiates himself or herself. So this is the power of mobile, and I'll continue in this with this spirit, because internet on the PC or on the mobile is still going to catch up. And any nice portal that we talk about. So whatever we have on the farmers portal can be queried through USSD. One by one, we are adding up the applications. And last thing I would like to add here, this is nothing which is outsourced. He said, famous, I'm notorious among the vendors, whether it's hardware vendor or software vendor. We didn't outsource anything. There's a small little team of people, 4-5 people sitting there in the 6th, 7th row. They're working in-house. Directly we discuss on the screens, and they churn out application in a matter of weeks and sometimes days. That is a power of a result-oriented approach. So I think, not for me, there has to be a round of applause for the people who are sitting, and the names are Shilpa Mehta. Stand up, please. Stand up. Don't be embarrassed. She is the consultant ICT. We have Bhanu, a programmer par excellence, who does things at lightning speeds. We've got Deepa Rustagi, who's joined recently and has done something called a buyer-seller platform. And then we have Nikhil, another new entrant, who made USSD look like a cakewalk. When NIC told me it'll take at least 6 to 7 months to integrate an application, and he took it as a challenge in 7 days flat. This market interaction, feeding prices from the mandis. For instance, I was told that the pricing is not coming. And there are other people who haven't joined us, they'll be joining us in the afternoon. There are 6 people that he had. So he talked about market prices. Imagine India has 7,114 mandis, 7114. And on the AgMarkNet, due to internet connectivity problem, or sometimes UPS being down, or sometimes due to sheer reluctance to walk up to the PC and feed the data, we get prices only from 800 to 900 mandis. And now we are using USSD, simple mobile interactive text messaging, and we're getting that numbers are going to ramp up. More realistic and real-time information is necessary. It shouldn't happen that the price comes in the evening and the price which was discussed in the morning. So that is the useless price. So arrivals, everything is being done through USSD. So with these opening remarks, I think I have far exceeded my allotted time. I'll leave rest of the things for the questions. Thank you all very much.